Another simple thing that you can do that's going to help make your courses better, which will obviously result in better ratings, which will result in more money for you as an instructor, is to add quizzes to your course. Now, adding quizzes to your Udemy courses can help students retain the information better, which is obviously a great thing because if your students get better results, then they're going to write better ratings. You can potentially use them as testimonials. They also are going to build that know, like, and trust factor with you a little bit easier. And if they get results, then obviously they're potentially going to come back and purchase more courses from you because you helped them. Okay. On top of that, the most important thing, in my opinion, is it's also going to increase your course engagement, which is a major ranking factor as well on the Udemy platform. Okay. And third, it's also going to make it feel like it's an actual course at the end of the day. And some students actually really like this a lot because the students that like them can actually use them. And the students that don't like the quizzes and feel like they just waste their time can skip them. It's very, very easy. You don't have to make them mandatory, okay? And this can kind of be like a nice little touch to your courses that can increase your course engagement rate, increase the ratings on your actual courses, and help your courses stand out, which obviously most courses don't have these, right? So it can be a nice little simple touch that takes you another 5 to 10 minutes when you're creating your course, maybe 20 max if you create like a bunch of them. And so here we are in the back end of one of my brand new courses that I've just actually recently launched. And so what you can do, and I've done this two ways. I don't do this on every course, and I especially don't do it on courses that are new. But once I start seeing, like, there's basically two overall strategies, right? A, it's going to increase your course engagement rate, which is great. But also, if you start to see like students constantly having a specific question in the Q&As, it's A, going to help them get better results if you create a quiz, which I'm going to show you how to do here in a second if you're unaware. Create a quiz, answer literally asking that question with the answers, so students can you can preemptively kind of handle that question ahead of time, and you don't have to constantly answer it in the Q&As all the time. It's going to help them, but it's also going to save you time, right? On top of that, like I said, it's also going to help increase your course engagement rate. So it's a win-win. Now, you can do it in two ways. What I used to do with some courses, I just kind of put it at the end of the course. So like if you go to course wrap up right here, like you can put like a quiz, like to brush up on the knowledge, whatever you want to name it, right? Like a business consulting quiz or business consulting test or whatever, and then put it at the end if you want to do that. Or if you want to just create like small ones that are like 3 to 5 questions, I found that this works better if you actually have like, somewhat decent sections. You can just put a quiz at the end of each section, right? So for example, let's go up to the top here and we'll go to like picking your consulting niche and crafting your offer, right? So what I could do is I could add a lecture here, and you'll see there's coding exercise, practice test, assignment, lecture, and quiz. You can add a quiz, and then you can literally type in the question, type in the answer, and then literally just add a quiz. So this is the title of the quiz. But when we add the quiz right here, then we can add questions, right? And so you can add a multiple choice question. You type in the question, you type in the answer, type in an answer, type in an answer, and select which is the right answer for them to choose, right? Then you can create another one here in a second. So if you save this, you can actually add another question to this quiz. But God forbid, like if they get this answer wrong and they need to brush up on their actual knowledge for this specific question, which is also really helpful, you can also select the related lecture in the course where you cover that principle or that question. So it's very, very helpful for them to retain the information. It's going to make a massive difference on their ability to actually succeed through the course and get results, obviously, depending on what you're teaching. But it's also going to preemptively allow you to kind of answer these questions for them and show them where they can learn them. So if you're getting a question that's constantly being asked of you like every single week, create a question or a quiz on it so that you can preemptively obviously handle this for students, right? So let's say it was like this one, and then we'll save it and we'll publish this. But we can also add another question, right? So if you want to add question number 2, again, like what is the purpose of a quiz on Udemy? And then like answers would be like, there is none. Sometimes add like a funny one in there. You don't have to, but it's up to you. And obviously you're going to want to make this like a sentence and an actual answer, but just kind of showing you what it looks like. You're going to want to make this a sentence and an actual question, right? But I'm not trying to waste your time, so I'm just going through it fast, right? But then like, you can also add explanations of why this is or isn't the right answer. If you want to go that route, you can kind of go as in depth or as, subtle as you want. You could also say like it helps increase course engagement rates. It helps students retain information better. It pays you more money because Udemy gives you $1 a quiz. Something like that, right? And then obviously, like, you can also, for this answer, because there's 2 right answers for this one, you could also be like, it's just answers 1 and 2, or it's just answers 3 and 4, you know? So you can kind of get creative with this, but I kind of just wanted to show you, obviously it's kind of common sense on how you create this, but it's definitely something that you can do that's going to, A, help your students retain the information better, obviously. B, most importantly, is going to increase your course engagement rate. And C, it's going to help it make it feel like an actual course, which is going to differentiate your course from other courses in your topic, your niche, and just other courses on Udemy in general, because most instructors don't actually put these into their courses. So you can do this if you want. You don't have to, but it's just something to think about.